Hey guys, Anthony and Annie here for Signal by Sony, and we are back from CES 2013 in Las Vegas, where we saw just an incredible amount of stuff.
So much technology. Almost impossible to cover everything, but we'll try our best to give you a quick rundown. So last week we gave you a quick look at new gadgets announced at CES, like the Xperia Z, Bravia 4K TVs, plus a peek into Sony's future with some concept models. And actually, Anthony, looking at last year's CES, a lot of the concept models on the floor ended up becoming real products that year, like the A99 and the 3D head mount. So I'm pretty curious to see where this year's prototypes go.
Yeah, what's interesting about that is they turned from prototypes into real products like that. At CES, we told you to use the hashtag SonyCES to send your questions and comments, and today we have the answers for you.
That's right, so let's get to it. These first questions have to do with the Xperia Z and ZL. Isaac Alonso asks, wow, those are amazing phones indeed, but are those batteries user replaceable? So the batteries are not replaceable, which leads us to a comment by SuperGoose79, who says, who cares about standby or talk time with a phone like this? Is it really that hard to understand that people want at least 10 hours of screen on time with such a device? Why not 4,000 milliamp hours? Seriously, so disappointed, because apart from the battery, these phones are amazing. So we asked the product team about this, and they explained stamina mode to us in more detail, which is a special setting on the phone. There are lots of common situations for stamina mode that helps people maximize battery life by increasing standby time by 4 times or even more. Like, a good example is if you're out and about with not that much battery time left and maybe expecting an email. You can use stamina mode to whitelist your email app while deactivating wireless data for any other app that can consume battery whenever you're not using the phone. So stamina mode is one of the solutions the mobile team provided for extending the Xperia Z and ZL battery use.
Right, and I've also got a few Xperia Z questions. This one is from LL0702, who asks, why doesn't the Z have a dedicated camera button? Oh well, still my next phone, please come to AT&T. So as far as carriers go, the Sony mobile team announced that the Z is going to be rolling out globally in Q1 with specific market availability announced at a later date. So I know that doesn't directly address your request, but we did pass your feedback along to Steven from the product team. He's the guy that I interviewed about the phones on Signal. Now, great question about the dedicated camera button. So because the Xperia Z is water resistant, they had to put some special consideration into the design. So like in this case, it doesn't have a dedicated camera button because that would compromise water resistance. It's just like another point of entry where water could leak in. And that's the Xperia Z. The Xperia ZL is not water resistant. PC and Tech was asking about that, so I wanted to point out that difference.
Right. Along those lines, we also saw some discussion about the Xperia accessory called the SBH20. That was the stereo Bluetooth headset that we previewed. People wanted to know if the $49 price was with or without a contract. The $49 price is the MSRP estimated price without contract. Okay, so moving on to our next question from Last to Die 73, who asks, I wonder if it is possible to mirror games from the Xperia Z or any other NFC Sony phone to the W&T TV. Great question. Yes, one-touch mirroring allows you to establish a connection to your TV via NFC and stream the content via Wi-Fi direct to a compatible TV to essentially display any application that you have on your phone on your TV. This includes videos, music, and video games.
We were over at the one-touch area of the booth, and I was really impressed with how many different devices could connect to one another with it.
Yeah, and it was so easy, and it just takes all the pain away of like changing the settings on your phone and on your different devices to mirror things and get things on other. It's really convenient.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And speaking of TVs, these next questions are about Sony's new 4K TVs. So Guns and the Beast asks, how fast is it in hertz? The TV uses a 120 hertz panel with 960 motion flow XR. That is Sony's highest level, and it's especially useful for fast-moving action like sports and gaming. I also saw some Signal fans like Azur Lazordi and Papo1990 who were curious as to whether the Bravia 4K TVs were OLED or LED LCD panels. He also wanted to know if the TVs are backlit or edge-lit. So the Sony TV team made 2 different 4K announcements. They did announce a 56-inch 4K OLED TV prototype, and that was on the floor, but it was just a concept model. They also announced that Sony is expanding its 4K TV Ultra HD line of LED TVs like the X900A series. They have the 84-inch, and then of course they have the 65-inch and 55-inch screen sizes. Now these are LED TVs, and they are dynamic edge-lit. And they're edge-lit because Sony's software in the TV allows them to deliver a dynamic local dimming experience without a full array of LEDs. So this backlighting concept allows them to achieve a really incredible contrast ratio, and it makes the manufacturing easier too. And one more quick question, 18mm Dia asks, are there new VAIO laptops? So that's a great question. So even though no major announcements were made at CES, they did announce expanding their touch-enabled VAIO Ultrabook line by bringing the touch display to the VAIO T-Series 14 and T-Series 15 models, plus they added a new silver color for the VAIO Duo 11 Ultrabook.
All right, we have to wrap it up here, but thanks for posting, you guys. And as all these new products get released this year, we're going to get some of them in the studio for an even closer look.
In the meantime, if you want to watch more of our videos, just go to youtube.com/signal. For now, this is Annie and Anthony saying see you next time.
Bye.